Hey everypony, I just recently set up a Patreon account, so if you guys would like to contribute, please click the link in the description down below. Hope to see you there.
You wanted to see me? To give me a test? My little pony, my little pony.
I know lots of fans hate the intro because it reminds them of Gen 3, but did you know that the first bit of the extended version of the intro song was actually inspired by the intro song in the Generation 1 cartoon?
My little pony, my little pony. Isn't the world a lovely place? My little pony, my little pony. Everywhere you go, a smiling face.
I'm gonna have to win it at some point because it is 10 times better than Gen 3.
No. I need the magical compendium volumes 1 through 36.
All I can say is that plenty of people can relate to being extremely nervous about tests and exams, although sadly, they don't involve fighting evil villains. The best type of armor when your surrogate older sister is pissed are pillows and a helmet.
Are you sure you don't want me to go as well? Yes. Princess Cadance and Shining Armor are already there.
I believe one of the reasons Celestia doesn't want Luna to go to the Crystal Empire is out of fear that she will be tempted to become Nightmare Moon again, so continuity win? I like the design of the Crystal Ponies. It makes them very different than the Equestrian Ponies, although I wish there were Crystal Pegasi and Unicorns. So I've read that King Sombra was based off of Sauron from Lord of the Rings. Here are many instances where that is the case, although instead of an eye, it's the head of Sombra. The music is very reminiscent of the music used in scenes involving the land of Mordor. And it works because of what I already said. The layout of the Crystal Empire reminds me of Mainframe from Reboot. You probably don't know what Reboot is because you don't live in Canada.
Twilight! That was fast! Let me guess, you got a perfect score!
Spike being supportive as usual.
Levitation would have been a breeze. Facts and figures I recite with ease.
I honestly gotta say that Rebecca Soyshed does an excellent job as Twilight's singing voice. On first few watches, I actually thought it was Tara Strong that was doing the singing.
And you all made fun of me for packing so many scarves.
Well, she is right. Hugging. And the win goes to King Sombra! Honestly, that was pretty epic.
Hey, give me another win.
Oh, alright. Self-sacrifice.
Megan, how do we establish that King Sombra is supposed to be threatening?
Oh, just make him disable Shining Armor's horn. That'll do the trick. I agree with you, Pinky. The vast differences when the main six go inside the bubble is pretty much the embodiment of light and darkness. The darkness, which is the stormy cold snowstorm with the howling winds, contrasts with the light, which is the bright and colorful Crystal Empire. Okay, two things. 1. The crystal buildings look pretty beautiful. 2. The Crystal Castle reminds me of the Eiffel Tower. Makes sense, since the ruler of the empire is the Princess of Love, and Paris is known as the City of Love.
A library?
Adorkable Twily is adorkable. For those that claim that alicorns are overpowered, Cadance here is shown barely able to keep the shield bubble stable.
To crystal berries.
Crystal berries sound delicious. I love King Sombra's snake-like design. See? True love really is powerful. I used to play horseshoes whenever it was available, and I loved corn on the cob. Especially with a bit of butter in it.
Castle?
The king would have been counting on the fact that no pony would dare come looking for it here. They'd have been too afraid to even try.
Pretty effective tactic given the circumstances that happened 1,000 years ago.
Seeing my awesomeness does have a way of putting ponies into a pretty good mood.
Rainbow Dash is not wrong. Her awesomeness does put ponies and bronies in a good mood. DHX sure knows how to use Flash the right way. The movements feel so natural, unlike many other cartoons animated with Flash.
You tried the Crystal Empire fritters yet? Made from traditional Crystal Empire recipe. You're gonna love them.
Of course, Applejack would be the pony that makes the fritters. She's loved them since she was a baby. Baby Applejack was adorable, by the way. What Sombra is doing with the broken horn inside the shield is almost like a virus infection. Or viral infection, if you get the reference.
It doesn't matter to me. You failed the test, Twilight.
This is probably the saddest moment in the episode, but the fear of disappointing and being rejected by a parent figure is pretty relatable.
I know you told me to stay up there, but you were down here for such a long time and you weren't answering and I got worried, so I came down here.
Spike being the supportive assistant. They make jousting look fun and easy.
You next time, but not too easy.
Honesty. A spell that reverses gravity. Fun and efficient. Also, nice Transformers reference. The struggle to keep your customers is pretty relatable. This just goes to show that despite the fact that Sombra has no physical form and is struggling to get through the shield, he's still powerful enough to trap Twilight inside the dark crystals. That sounds like the effect used for the symbiote in Spectacular Spider-Man. Also, nice to see Sombra back to his former glory. Elastic Cadence to the rescue. Earlier we see Cadence weak and barely able to cast spells despite the love between her and Shining Armor. But it is ultimately seeing the Crystal Heart and realizing the needs of the Crystal Ponies that give her the strength to fly and use magic. I love the way the main six, Spike, Shining Armor, and Cadence look as Crystal Ponies. It's a shame they lose their crystallization once they leave the Empire, but the design is beautiful nonetheless.
I do so wish it was permanent.
So do I, Rarity. So do I. This two-parter was great. It's always nice to hear Princess Celestia tell stories of the past. It had great suspense, examples being whether Twilight passed Celestia's test, or Princess Cadence struggling to keep out Sombra. Speaking of the great king himself, I've seen many complaints about Sombra not having much of anything in terms of screen time and personality, but since Sauron was meant to be this mysterious threat that you hear about and occasionally see, Sombra was meant to be the same. Again, since he was based off of the Lord of Mordor. And then there's two overall messages, that you don't always need to go it alone, and also, like the message in Daemon Rising, love pretty much conquers all. Speaking of which, if you're watching this, congratulations on your engagement, Mark Hyder.
One by one, the free lands of Middle-earth fell to the power of the ring. But there were some who resisted.
I wish I could help you, but I can't seem to remember anything before King Sombra came to power.